Hi guys, today's session is management control. So management control is simply known as comparing the actual performance with standard and find out the differences or deviations between the actuals and standard. If there is deviation between actuals and standard, some corrective steps or actions should be taken by the management. This is known as management control. Example, in a production department. The production department's target was given by the top level people. It's 25,000 units of product to be manufactured in each and every month. But on a particular month, the production department was able to manufacture only 15,000 units of output. So why it is like that? So there may be several reasons behind it. So the top level management can identify the reasons behind it and take necessary actions to overcome that. This is known as management control. So basically there are two techniques used for controlling all these activities in the organization. And first one is known as traditional technique and second one is known as modern techniques. Let's look into the traditional techniques. One of the most important traditional technique is known as personal observation. This is the first-hand information that's available to the managers for controlling the activities in the organization. So basically the managers can monitor the performance of the workers in the department, as you all know that. So the production department was not able to manufacture enough units of product in that particular section due to so many reasons. It may be the mistake of spinning section workers, weaving section workers, packing department section workers, etc., etc. So packing department section workers managers identified that it's a problem best with the packing department workers. And every day all the packing department workers' performance has been monitored by the supervisor on a regular day-to-day basis. That gives a psychological pressure to all these workers for performing well. So every day you are monitoring the performance of all these workers, which will definitely help you to improve the performance. This is what actually known as the first technique. This is personal observation technique. Second one is known as statistical reports. So managers can collect all informations, lot of informations like sales, production, stock, debtors, etc. All these informations can be collected. And these informations can be given in the form of, some reports with the help of, statistical tools like arithmetic mean, then percentages and correlation, and present all these informations to the managers for taking some necessary steps. Example, if you just take the arithmetic mean of all the production details and compare it with the competitors' production, which gives an efficiency, which gives a particular light on the efficiency area of the operations. That is the advantage of arithmetic mean here. Then percentages, where you can use percentages. You can just calculate the cost of production and the cost of production as a percentage on the production, which you can calculate for every year. And what is happening to the cost of production to the production for the current year, you can check into that. And once you are checking that, you will understand whether your cost of production as a percentage of production is increasing or not, why it is increasing. You can take some steps to control it. That is the advantage of percentages. Then the correlation. The correlation between the advertisement and sales can be studied. Correlation between the production and sales can be studied. And it gives a light on the efficiency of the inventory management. It gives a light on the efficiency of putting the advertisement amount again to increase the sales. All these can be done with the help of these statistical reports. And the third technique is known as break-even analysis. It's a technique that used to study the relationship between cost, revenue, and profit. But it is one of the techniques that always shows a complete picture of the profits and loss at various levels of activity that taken place in the business. There are certain activities carried out by the business that time the profit, huge amount of profit, they may be able to make it. Sometimes the company done a lot of activities, but they suffered a huge loss due to so many reasons. So you can identify the different levels of activities and profit and loss at all these levels of activities taken place in the organization with the help of this break-even analysis. So this is one of the powerful techniques used for bringing efficiency in the organizations by way of controlling all activities. So the third one is known as budgetary control. Budgetary control, it's a technique that used for bringing control with the help of preparing budgets and comparing the plans with the actuals. And if there is deviation between the plans and actuals, you can take some necessary steps to control it. That is known as budgetary control system. All these techniques that we discussed were the traditional techniques, and next one is known as modern techniques, and the first one is known as return on investment. So you can compare the performance between the investment centers with the help of one financial variable, which is known as return on investment. Example, Coca-Cola started different subsidiary units, and you want to evaluate the performance of all these subsidiary units. So all these subsidiary units are getting the power for maximizing the revenue as well as for controlling the expenditure. They are also getting the power to put more investments into the assets, different types of assets. So the complete power vests with all these subsidiary units. So you can evaluate the performance of all these subsidiary units based on this ratio that is known as return on investment, net profit divided by investment. And which department, which subsidiary unit or which department has got more return on investment, that's the best department which you can identify. So this is also one of the important techniques used for controlling it. And the next one is ratio analysis. It's a technique that used for studying the relationship between one financial variable with another financial variable. So it throws light on different areas of operations, profitability, liquidity, solvency, all these areas of operations you can identify that. That's the advantage of ratio analysis. And next one is responsibility accounting. It's a system in which you can bring more control by way of setting up different departments as responsibility centers. And the heads of the centers are responsible for achieving the target. So a lot of responsibility centers are there: cost centers, profit center, revenue center, and investment centers. And cost centers' responsibility is to reduce the costs. Revenue centers' responsibility is to maximize the revenue. Profit center responsibility is to reduce the cost as well as for maximizing the revenue. And investment centers' responsibility is to maximize the return on investment. So likewise, there are different responsibilities given to each and every center, and for bringing maximum efficiency in the organization. And the last technique is known as Pert CPM. It's one of the powerful techniques that used for controlling and planning, scheduling and implementing all the activities for the project implementation. That's the particularity of Pert CPM. All the kind of, the complex interrelated activities can be planned and scheduled with the help of this Pert method. This is one of the advantages of this particular modern method in management control in the organization. Thank you all. These are the techniques.